If you keep mixing up bass clef notes in your left hand, you're not bad at piano. You're just learning it the wrong way. Most students try to memorize every note individually, and that's exactly why they keep second-guessing themselves. Hi, I'm Ruby Medina. After more than 10 years of playing piano and studying music, I've seen how common this confusion is, and I know why it happens. The problem isn't your memory, it's the way bass clef is being introduced to you. In this video, I'm going to show you a much simpler way to connect bass clef notes directly to the keyboard, so your left hand finally makes sense. Instead of figuring out each note individually, we're going to anchor the staff directly to the keyboard using 3 landmark notes. So the first landmark note we're going to look at is middle C. So right here's the bass clef symbol, and this note right here is middle C. And notice that it sits on a small line just above the staff. And this note corresponds with this key on the piano. If your piano has 88 keys, you should find middle C in the middle of the piano. So the first C is right here. The second C. The third C. And here's middle C. It's the 4th C from the bottom. The next note we're going to look at is F. And the bass clef is called the F clef. And that's because these 2 dots are surrounding this line right here. So this note here on the staff is F. And that corresponds with this key on the piano. And notice that this F is below middle C. So let's take a look at those 2 notes together. So on the piano, the C that's indicated here on the staff is right here. And the F indicated here on the staff is down here on the piano. Now the next note we'll look at is C below middle C. And this is how they look written together. Notice that the C below middle C is on the second space from the bottom. So here's the first space, and right here is the second space, and that's C. And this note right here corresponds with this key on the piano. And now let's take a look at how the 2 C's look on the piano. So if middle C is right here, the C below middle C is here on the piano. Now let's look at some examples and use these to figure out other notes. So if we know that this note right here is middle C, when we move down, this note right here is B. And if we move down again, this note right here is A. Now let's look at an example with F. So F is right here on the keyboard. And this note above, this is G. And if we move up from G, so the next note would be A. Now let's look at a different example with F, but this time moving in a downward direction. And this next note going down, this is E. And if we go down again, this is D. And notice if we go down again, we would end up on C, which is one of the landmark notes that we spoke about earlier. So now let's look at some examples with the C below middle C. If we go up, this note would be D. And if we go up again, we have E. Now let's look at an example going downwards. So if this is C, the note right next to it is B. And the next note is A. Notice that when a note moves down the staff, it is also moving down the keyboard. And when a note moves up the staff, it is moving up the keyboard. By using these landmarks, you're not guessing, you are navigating and recognizing. So to review these notes, this note right here is middle C. This note here is F. And this note here is C. And if you want a visual guide to help you lock in these bass clef anchors faster, just drop the word guide in the comments and I'll send it straight to you, no email needed. If this lesson helped bass clef finally click, press like so I know you're continuing your reading journey. And don't stop here. The next step is learning how treble clef connects the same way, using landmarks instead of guessing. Watch the treble clef reading lesson right here, and I'll guide you through that next step. I'll see you in the next lesson.